Hey guys, Flix here. This is going to be my spoiler review of Hobbs and Shaw. If you want to see my really over barely anything about the movie review, yeah, that should also be posted somewhere. But I'm just warning you, there are spoilers ahead on this. So, the beginning of the movie, it's a lot of just back and forth between Hobbs and Shaw, how their lives are different, they're growing up into stuff. Like, Hobbs' breakfast made me gag a little in this movie. But it's just kind of showing one's more refined, where the other one is more rugged. They're both really good at what they do. They're both, you know, kind of assholes, honestly. But yeah, I mean, that's the beginning. It's just going back and forth. There's a job that pops up. Now, surprise character, and I didn't want to talk about this in my non-spoiler review, but Ryan Reynolds is Hobbs's CIA connection, and he is a riot and a half. Like, it's like they went, okay, people love Deadpool, we're just gonna put Deadpool in this movie as far as his personality with Hobbs. So great. And there's a diner scene in the beginning, and it's just priceless. Like, it makes me realize how much I love Ryan Reynolds as an actor, is that he is funny, he is charismatic, and you put him next to The Rock, someone who is amazingly charismatic as well, and you've got a recipe for success. Like, no offense to Jason Statham, but if they just made a Dwayne Johnson and Ryan Reynolds movie, that would be crazy fun. So then we go there to them trying to catch Shaw's sister, which you don't really know it's her in the beginning, necessarily. It's weird that the movie tries to cover it up when the trailers were so, that's my sister kind of thing with that. But yeah, so they, you know, Hobbs catches her actually pretty easily and believes her that she wasn't, you know, killing people. Idris Elba's character is chasing after her because she has a virus that can pretty much wipe out the planet. He works for a scrummy organization that wants to do that. Not wipe out the planet, but wipe out the weak is what they call it. And the entire time, Idris Elba has this anonymous benefactor who, it's not ever revealed who he is in the movie, but I really feel like it's Ryan Reynolds' character. Like, somehow he's the one in charge. Now, he keeps alluding to something in the past with Hobbs, and it doesn't seem like it should be Ryan Reynolds, but there's a part where the voice distortion thing kind of goes wonky for a sec, and I thought it sounded like Ryan Reynolds. So that's my theory right now. I got nothing to back it up, just having watched the movie. They get framed for attacking a big CIA place that they were actually being attacked in. They have to go on the run. They go to Moscow to try to get the virus outside of the sister, who, in the beginning, her bright idea to try to keep the virus from the other guy was to inject herself with it. So they like pretty much surrender her to the people that were trying to capture her to take the thing out of her. Long story short, they get captured as well. The benefactor doesn't want them killed, which is kind of why I was thinking it's Ryan Reynolds, because he seemed to be very interested in Hobbs more than Shaw necessarily. They escape, and the entire time, like, Idris Elba's character as well, I'm probably going all over the place with this. I just saw this movie, and I mean, I liked it well enough, but as far as the plot goes, like I said, it's kind of a shut your brain off kind of movie. But Idris Elba is being mechanically augmented into kind of like a superhuman with like these really cool computer eyes that say everything around them. So they go to Moscow, they get away, they need to find somewhere to hide. They go to Samoa, which evidently the Rock, you know, Hobbs, hadn't been there in a long time because something happened between his family that he hadn't seen in 25 years. They go there, they extract the virus, they beat the bad guy, the end. The movie was really action-packed and really fun if that's all you want in a movie. Like I was saying in my spoiler-free review and a little bit in this one, it's a shut-your-brain-off kind of movie where if you think about the plot too much, the movie comes undone. And I am not anyone if not someone who overthinks the plot. So there's so many issues with everything that happens. The little extractor of the virus in the first part that they have it, like a little like tossing around the bed of a truck, breaks it, and it's a pretty hard jump, don't get me wrong, But then in the end, she's wearing it like a backpack, getting thrown around, and it's just totally fine the entire time. She survives a helicopter crash wearing that thing, and it's fine. The reason that they didn't just kind of, like, do it right away, like, because she stops the bad guys from extracting it from her, where she showed that she's completely able to get out of it. She should have, like, knocked out the guard she knocked out and immediately put it in her to take out the virus while she was doing everything. Plot's over 25 minutes earlier. There's this weird part in the battle where they disable the guns of the bad guys, who are all digital guns, for 6 minutes. And in that time, it goes from dark night to bright day. And then suddenly they're like, oh yeah, the weapons are back online. It was 6 minutes from when it looked like it was the dead of night. And they say that they're going to attack right before dawn. But if that much dawn happens in 6 minutes, that our Earth is flying around the sun and spinning super fast in that universe. Maybe that's everything's fast and furious in that universe. Who knows? Hobbs and Shaw's relationship, I feel, is probably one of the best covered things in this movie. They start out hating each other, and you actually see the gradual, like, coming together of stuff. Which is something I absolutely hate in movies, when they just, like, this is something with Aquaman, that suddenly Arthur and Mira are, oh my god, we love each other so much. Where in this movie, Hobbs and Shaw go from hating each other to simply disdaining each other, to being okay with each other, to actually cooperating and getting together, and understanding that working together is something great for them. And they even, like, play jokes on each other at the end of it. I like the acting of all of the main cast. Idris Elba, I actually can't remember what the name of the sister, or yeah, what the sister was, but Dwayne Johnson and Jason Stamos were all really good actors in that movie. They were fun, and I mean, Jason Stamos was probably the weakest of the three, but that's kind of just because of how he talks. He, like, they pointed out, which is kind of funny, that he has this really nasally voice that sounds so weird all the time. And it's funny, like, there are some legitimately, like, funny moments in this movie that I was very happy to see. And some weirdly, like, there was no tragic moments, but there were some very heartfelt moments that I was like, why is a Fast and Furious movie making me feel like this? Like, don't get me wrong, in Furious 7, when they have the kind of the tribute to Paul Walker, that was a sad moment, but that was playing tribute to a real life person who passed away, and that's why it was kind of sad in that. But this movie, like, there's just some reunions between family people that make you just feel, and it's funny, because the key part of this that felt like a Fast and Furious movie was that it was all about family. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with that. I really did think this movie was okay. It was good. Again, plot kind of ruins parts of it for you, but the humor kind of goes over it. The music's really kind of weird sometimes in this one, and I don't know what is up with me recently, if it's me or if it's the movies, but they're making some weird musical choices. Like, the end credits, like, when they start, there's this weird rock version. I don't know if it's rock, but it's a cover version of a classic song, and I was like, that doesn't fit where this is. But I will say, on the same stream of consciousness, there is a part at the end with Idris Elba rapping. Like, you don't see him, but, like, just the music is Idris Elba rapping, and that is worth the price of admission on its own. I listened to it and I was like, there's no, wow. And then, like, I actually, like, looked through the credits as it was going on, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, that's legitimately Idris Elba rapping. That's hilarious. And something for anyone who goes to watch this after watching this, there's some weird jokes in the movie about names. Hobbs gives Shaw one, Shaw gives Hobbs one, and then I was watching the credits as it was going on, and one of two things happened. They intentionally made some fake names to put on there to be joking, or there are some parents who were really mean to their kids when they gave birth to them and gave them funny names. So that is something that you should keep an eye out for when you're watching the credits of this movie. What am I going to give it? I'm going to give it a 5.5 out of 10. Pretty solid. I mean, I feel like if I hadn't watched Lion King before I watched this movie might get like a 4. But because it surpasses that bar of how terrible Lion King was by such a margin, that I'm like, yes, I will give you a better score, because Ryan Reynolds, because Dwayne Johnson, because Jason Stamos, Like, you guys all made this a lot more worth watching than some crappy remake of Lion King. So, there are my thoughts on it. If you guys have any comments, leave them down below. If you like this video, please hit that like button or subscribe. Tell your friends about us. That's all I got for you. Have a great day.